could answer that very short and just say friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But I think probably the very best concept I've gotten out of one of our meetings came from another study group member. They brought the book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, to our group. And we just started to talk about it, and we all agreed to write a growth plan for 2020. And that was before we knew COVID was going to be such a crazy time in our lives. And it was based upon the whole person concept. So we listed all of the whole person categories, and then we wrote areas that we wanted to grow in over the course of the next year. And unbeknownst to us, it was the perfect timing to do something like that, because our worlds have been completely flipped this year, and it allowed us to remember how important all aspects of our lives are, not just work. And it was funny because I brought that concept back to my staff, and our staff wrote their own growth plans last year in December, again, before COVID hit very hard here in the States. And it has ended up being an incredible piece that has allowed us to be much more united as a group and as a team, my study group and in my staff team as well. So I would look at the book. I would consider maybe doing that with your staff or with your study group, but that was a really critical piece that helped us keep going this last year.
For me, it's very similar to Juli, where it's lifelong friendships. That's what you get out of this. And over time, you're able to share stuff you don't normally share with people you don't see every day. So the ability to share thoughts and feelings at a level that you couldn't share typically on your day-to-day life. So that's really what I've got most from a study group, is the longer you're in it, the more you can share, the more they understand you, the more they keep you accountable. That's the comment I would make.
I don't think it's a boring answer to say the same thing. Really, camaraderie, right? And I think, Juli, you said at the very beginning of this call, this can be a lonely business. And if you look at our lives, we were created for relationships. We were created for fellowship. If you don't believe me, go quarantine for 14 days, right? And then at the end of that time, you be a believer in this. But if you look at how much bandwidth our work takes up, our calling in this business, we need relationships there. We need of all shapes and sizes, and we have those in our hobbies. We have those in our civic and social arenas. And so to have that in work, like I said, it kind of was a stutter start for me to get to this group that we found ultimately in 2016. And it's really one of the highlights of my work here to this day. I mean, I love it.
So sign me up, same thing. It is relationships. I've shared a couple of stories about people that have reached out to me. But for those of us, no matter what our point in our career is, it's about giving back. And that's the touchstone of MDRT. And so no surprise that study groups are just an extension of what we learn from around the table. It's about checking in and being accountable with each other. I think that's the thing that, especially for men, most men have a deep fear of being accountable. And so because we are mostly fiercely independent entrepreneurs, we need a place where we can go and just take it off, take the armor off, be real, and be accountable.